Did the Sixers just find a new backup five? Well, they have apparently emerged as finalists to sign an experienced veteran and former NBA champion. We'll break it all down here on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. RB here. Hit that like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe by hitting that red button down below and hit that bell so you do not miss any of the coverage. Quick announcement, we will be live tonight and tomorrow for the NBA All-Star Weekend festivities only on Playback TV. So if you have not yet, go down to the description, click the link, join the Playback Room. It's free. And we will be over there having a great time celebrating and enjoying the All-Star festivities. With that being said, go Mac McClung. Hopefully Mac can take home the dunk contest champion title tonight. We'll see how that goes. So breaking news, though. Some rumors swirling around this morning here on Saturday afternoon before the NBA All-Star game takes place tomorrow. And it is involving a former NBA champion and experienced vet who got bought out a couple days ago by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Should the Sixers try to sign Kevin Love? Let me know your thoughts right now down in the comments. Before we break down the official news and how this could actually happen and if this should actually happen, shout out to the sponsor here of today's video, Aura. Aura is a leading provider in digital safety and fraud protection. Now, whether you have tried to purchase a vehicle or use your credit or debit card or whatever it may be, I'm sure you have had some type of experience with data hackers trying to steal your information. This happened to me. Somebody had tried to open a separate loan in my name, and this is one example of an issue that Aura aims to prevent. Aura is an easy-to-use app that includes everything you need to stay safe online by protecting you from scammers and hackers on the internet. They fight back against all of those annoying websites that try to take your personal info and make it public, and they alert you if any of your private info is found. Aura gives you near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries, and they even provide a VPN where you can, roam the internet safely and stay anonymous. They even have a password manager that keeps all your credentials safe in one spot. So take the next step today in protecting your online safety by signing up for Aura. Go down to the description, aura.com/PhillyTake, and receive a 2-week free trial of all of their services just by clicking that link down in the description. All right, so let's talk about what happened just about an hour ago here in real time. A Woj bomb coming out, and here it is. Boom. ESPN sources say that Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers have completed a contract buyout. The Miami Heat are a front runner to sign Kevin Love, but he plans to talk to the Philadelphia 76ers before making a final decision. What does this mean? Kevin Love is swaying. He's going back and forth. The last two teams, will it be the Miami Heat? Will it be the Philadelphia 76ers? Can Daryl Morey, Doc Rivers, and the squad convince Kevin Love that the Sixers, one, are enough of a finals contender to come here, and two, that he will have a sufficient role? Those are the two things that Kevin Love is looking for. A little more into this situation. Shout out to Brian Toporek here on Twitter. He says, the Heat still have $3.2 million left of their mid-level exception and are nearly $4.8 million below the tax line. Meanwhile, the Sixers can only offer Kevin Love a prorated vets minimum less than $600K and have 0 open roster spots. But to add on to this, Morey could work some magic. He'll have to move some things around if this was to transpire, right? You have a couple guys who really aren't playing. You have, a couple guys who could get cut with dead cap. There are lots of things you can do, so I don't think this is set in stone. But right now, at the current time, yes, the Miami Heat do have a lot more flexibility. He says, I would be surprised if Kevin Love ends up in Philly, but we will see. Also, Rich Hoffman puts this out. He says, George Niang right now is shooting threes at the same rate as Kevin Love and makes more of them pretty much every year, including this one. Certainly makes better use of his 2-point shooting as well. But the rebounding is a fair consideration, though. And that's kind of where, I'm looking at this entire situation. So when it comes to Kevin Love, he's 34 years old, a former NBA champion. He's been through the ringer. He knows what it takes to get to the final destination. And that's always a positive. I think that's a good thing. That's, one thing I like about PJ Tucker. He knows what it takes as well. So that's a good thing to have. But at the same time, the Sixers need shooters, they need rebounders, and they need guys who are going to be able to produce off that second unit, because we have seen for years now, come playoff time, it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, right? You need to show up and show out. And I think the main question here is, would Kevin Love fit into this rotation? Now, I want to break this down a little bit more, because right now I'm seeing a lot of debate, seeing a lot of people go back and forth. Should Kevin Love take over Georges Niang's minutes? We'll compare their stats. Should Georges Niang stay in the rotation? How would Kevin Love really fit in? I'm here to tell you something different, man. I am not looking at it that way at all. In fact, I'm looking at it when it comes to Kevin Love in terms of being a backup center. This is something he has done before, but he is getting older. He's essentially not even part of the Cavs rotation anymore. That's why they let him go. The Cavs have a lot of young high flyers. They have a lot of athleticism. They just gone in a different direction. But I remember just a few years ago, Kevin Love was putting his name back in the sixth man of the year conversation. That's how good he was playing. And I think he's a very smart player. I think Kevin Love can fit into a team. It's just, what is the identity? What is the shape of what you want to do, especially with your playoff rotation? And I'm honestly looking at it in terms of a backup five. Here's my point that I need to make. If Kevin Love can come in and produce as a backup five right now, better than Paul Reed, Montrezl Harrell, Dwayne Dedmon, then it's a no-brainer. You go out and sign him, okay? It's not all the time that you look at the buyout market and you have a chance to sign a player like Kevin Love. Do I think that Kevin Love pushes the needle so far to make the Sixers team that much more of a championship team or contender, whatever you think that definition is right now? Do you think the Sixers are a championship contender or not? I'm not saying that Kevin Love is going to push the Sixers into that realm if they are not right now. But do I think Kevin Love can make this team better? Yeah. Do I think he can play quality basketball? Yeah. Does he have his weaknesses? Yes, just like every other bench player. But Kevin Love, like I said, he brings a lot of skills to the table, and I think they fit around guys that the Sixers have. For example, Kevin Love is a pick and pop maestro, right? Imagine James Harden and Kevin Love running some two-man game. K-Love can pop out to the corner much more efficiently, much more smoother than a guy like PJ Tucker, right? Joel doesn't really play that way. Tobias doesn't really play that way. I think James Harden and Kevin Love, for instance, could make a really good duo on the floor. I think Kevin Love could come in and be a much better rebounder than Montrezl Harrell. Paul Reed is a really good rebounder, but he just cannot stay on the floor, given his offensive game. And, obviously Dwayne Dedmon hasn't even got in the game yet. So I think that if Kevin Love can be a more beneficial backup five right now, I think you absolutely take a flyer, because it's not hurting your team, right? It's not a huge risk. If it doesn't work out, you just don't play him. You just, let him go at the end of the year or whatever it may be. Now, I know the Sixers signed a couple pieces, but let's be real here. Dwayne Dedmon might not even get in the game. Dwayne Dedmon might not even play a minute for the Sixers. Furkan Korkmaz isn't playing. Jaden Springers, but there's all these guys that just don't really do much or add much value. So you find a way to make it happen if you can do that. Now, when you compare the Heat and the Sixers, yeah, I think the Sixers are much more of a ready team this year than the Heat. I don't think the Heat really have shown that they are going to do much. I just think Kevin Love wants a role where he's going to get at least some decent minutes, because he's trying to extend his career. He's won the championships. He has done all he needs to do. He wants to prolong his career. Now, obviously, he wants to win, but he doesn't want to sit and rot on the bench. So if Kevin Love's going to get minutes, I think it would be great. I think the Sixers could always use more shooting off the bench. And the biggest thing, as Rich Hoffman and Brian Toporek mentioned, the rebounding aspect, right? K-Love right now, if we look at his stats, he's averaging 20 minutes per game this year. But look at him, man. He's still averaging 7 rebounds a game in 20 minutes. He's putting up 8.5 points per game. And he's hitting 1.73 on 4.8 attempts, 35%, which is not that good, definitely compared to his previous years. But having more of a consistent role may be able to up that. When you look at Georges Niang's stats, like they said, he's a better three-point shooter. Georges Niang is a better backup four right now than Kevin Love is. There's no doubt about that. And that's why my focus has shifted to Kevin Love potentially being a backup center. He's a guy that might get targeted on defensive mismatches. He's a guy that can't really be that much of a rim protector, but if he can slide out, if he can almost be like a bit of a small ball five that's still able to knock down shots and do it more effectively around some of these playmakers that the Sixers have, I think that Kevin Love would be a good fit. And again, I don't think he makes you that much more of a championship team, but it's almost like, why not? Take a flyer on it. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But, the buyout market doesn't make you incrementally better like that. The buyout market usually doesn't have those type of pieces that are going to make you a championship team. Like, they're just extra ammunition to add onto your squad. And, you know, it's a player like Kevin Love, and I still like his game. I just think he needs more of an opportunity. So that's where I'm looking at it. The Sixers right now are bottom 3 in the league when it comes to rebounding. Kevin Love could absolutely fix that issue. And, you know, they need more guys that can pull boards, and especially on the offensive glass, because they just don't have that. I think Jalen McDaniels has definitely helped that out so far. I like his ability to, you know, cut back door and just kind of read the ball a little bit, you know, and try to make plays happen. But Kevin Love is a established rebounder. He's a guy that can do it at all 3 levels. And back in the day, he was one of the best in the game. Obviously not anymore. His game has changed, but there's a reason the Cavs kept him around, right? They kept him around because he knows what he's doing. He just knows how to fit in, how to play on a squad. And if he has anything left in the tank, I hope that the Sixers, Daryl Morey, the front office, can convince him that the Sixers are ready to win and that he can have a role. So, you know, maybe he can fit much better than a PJ Tucker, right? Some people are saying even play Kevin Love at the 4 in the starting lineup, move Tobias to the 3, or, you know, put McDaniels in there, play K-Love at the 4, Toby coming off the bench. There's a lot of different things you can do with a player like Kevin Love. And, hey, maybe Joel James, give him a call and, you know, kind of sell him on the idea. But we will see. It is important to mention the Heat are the front runners. The Heat have, you know, the main way to Kevin Love right now. They are locked and loaded, but if the Sixers can convince him, you never know what could happen. Those are my thoughts. Give me all of yours down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And like always, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.